It has been well and long anticipated that we meet here today to do this. Very, very excited, overwhelming to see how it's all come together. And I think for me personally, in terms of the NGO sector, leading international affairs development for Deloitte, this has been absolutely amazing to see what the collaboration can look like in terms of the development sector and the private sector coming together. The value for the Decision Optimizer is a tool that will be impacted and embedded within Think for their future sustainability and thinking throughout their projects. And this is also for the Think network. So the value is not just going to be here localized, it's going to be taken cross borders, it's going to be implemented without the Think other organizations. And for Deloitte personally, for IAD, including for the Decision Optimizer, the first of its kind, it will show the impact in the NGO sector and in the INGO, the international NGO sector.
The important part with the team is that everyone brings a different cognitive lens to the problem. And the four archetypes that we've got here are influence and cautious, and we have steadiness and dominant at the back. And you'll see that underneath we've got all the different little graphs. That's just really to show the spectrum within that particular archetype for this particular team. Yeah. So this partnership's important because we have a client and they have a very ambitious view on what they want to achieve, not only in South Africa, but also taking that across other parts of Africa. But to get there, they need to navigate uncertainty. And there's this whole, I think, host of challenges that they are faced with. So the question was, is there a smarter way that we can make decisions that can help us get to that very ambitious goal? They're kind of heading, if I remember correctly, around 2040. So the clock is ticking and we need to help them optimize decisions.
Probably, like if we look at systems, how the organization is set up internally, it's only when you sit next to other organizations. I think with Kirsty, we did it when we were in Cape Town where all partners were there and I was sharing, and I'm sure Tasha, you have gone through the same. Like you're sharing how we do it, like, oh, this simple thing, like, oh, this is how we do our timesheet. For us, it's normal. And we are very critical for a system like it doesn't work, right? And things like that. But actually it's cutting edge than other people who are still doing it on Excel. And these are organizations that employ 1,000 people, you know, and they're still doing it on Excel. And that actually shows that we are pushing and trying to do things differently to be able to achieve our ambition. Literally, I'm a student of business and leadership and strategy, and working with the Deloitte team has brought in that different way of looking at aspects that we do every day in business management and in strategic management. So it has been very engaging, very challenging us so that we challenge the paradigm as one of our values and ensuring that we align and using various models to align to achieve our ambition as an organization.
I was very, very excited about this partnership with Think. From when we started talking to them and got introduced and had the first meeting with Trevor and Christina, it's just been an absolutely exciting thing to work on. They are making massive strides in the health space, in HIV and TB. They've really made some significant differences to the World Health Organization guidelines, which is a really impressive thing to have done. So just the impact they're making for us as Deloitte to be able to come in there and amplify that impact across a number of different countries and help them save more and more lives and improve the quality of those lives as well is just a really impactful thing for us that really aligns to our mission of purpose beyond profit. I really want to reference this live values come to the top. So when I talk to most of you guys through those kind of interviews as we had them labeled, but discussions that gave us those insights there, this was really something that came up a number of times. It was like, you know what, one bad apple ruins the bunch. In a team, you really need the right people together that believe in this mission and want to work to get towards that. If someone is there for a paycheck or they're there for this, potentially not the right place for them, and it's not really going to move the organization to where it goes.
And this comes into a circle where your health, or rather your poor health, is actually going to determine your social ability and your social determinants. So poor health, specifically in the settings where we're working with, will contribute to worse income and ability to contribute to society. We were inspired by the fact that Deloitte has enabled us to look at ourselves from a different point of view. And asking us critical questions have enabled ourselves to look at ourselves and create action plans behind where we need to go into the future.
So Deloitte's all about making an impact that matters, and what more better to make an impact that matters than partnering with an organization such as Think, who's making leaps and bounds in the public health sector in South Africa and wanting to expand even further. So what better partnership than that?
I think it's been incredibly eye-opening to look at things from an outsider's perspective and to have had questions asked that we wouldn't necessarily ask ourselves. So I think it's just opened our eyes a lot to our own vulnerabilities, our own maybe shortcomings, and also some of our strengths.
As a background as a researcher, we always say it's just formalized creativity. So we love to think about what could be done and like what is the answer and how do we get there. And having different voices and different backgrounds sit in a safe space to just brainstorm and bounce things off of each other to get to a common goal, even though we have different ways of reaching it, I think was really invigorating, and I kind of get our passion going again to get out of this door and like really just go for it.
As an organization, we do embrace technology, and we do that in everything that we do in the organization. So it was no brainer for us to go for something like a decision optimizer, because it is within our values and our ethos to try and utilize tools that are around to get a better result in alignment of what you are trying to achieve. So decision optimizer is one of those cutting edge options that are there compared to the non-traditional way. For you to stand out in this industry, for you to stand out, you have to try different models that can be used to achieve the same goal but faster